Welcome back to Tales of the Dark. Tonight's story comes from a subscriber, and what they experienced inside their school should not be possible. I didn't plan on staying late that day. It was supposed to be quick, just go back, grab my notebook and leave. That's it, nothing weird. Nothing unusual, but if I'm being honest, there was a moment right before I went back inside where something felt off, and I ignored it. That was my first mistake. It was around 6:40 p.m. when I realized I left my notebook in class. I was already halfway home when I noticed it wasn't in my bag. I remember stopping on the side of the road, checking again, hoping I just missed it. But no, it was gone, and I knew exactly where it was. Last desk near the window. Same place I always kept it. I sighed, turned around and headed back. At the time, it didn't feel like a big deal. Students stayed late all the time. Teachers were still around. The school wouldn't be completely empty. At least that's what I thought. When I reached the school gate, something immediately felt wrong. It was open, not slightly open, wide open. And there was no one there, no guard, no staff, nothing. That alone was strange, but I brushed it off. Maybe the guard stepped away for a bit. Still, I remember standing there for a second longer than I should have, just looking inside. The building looked darker than usual, not pitch black but dim, like only a few lights were on. I told myself I was overthinking, then I walked in. The moment I stepped inside the building, the silence hit me, not normal silence, not after school quiet. This was different. There were no distant voices, no footsteps, no echo of someone moving in another hallway, nothing, just a low electrical hum from the lights above. And even that felt too loud. I adjusted my bag and started walking toward my classroom. Each step echoed more than it should have, like the building was empty, completely empty. My classroom was on the second floor. As I climbed the stairs, I noticed something strange. The lights weren't fully on. Only every second light was working. The others flickered slightly like they were about to go out. It made the hallway look uneven, bright, then dim, then bright again, and for some reason that made everything feel worse. I reached my classroom door, closed. But not locked. That part felt normal. I pushed it open slowly. The hinges creaked louder than usual. Inside, everything looked exactly how I left it. Desks in place, board untouched, my notebook sitting right where I remembered, on the last desk near the window. I let out a small breath. Okay, good. I walked in, grabbed it and turned to leave, and that's when I heard it. A sound from the classroom next door. It was faint, barely noticeable at first, like something dragging across the floor. I froze, listened carefully. There it was again, a slow, scraping sound, like a chair being pulled. I frowned. That's weird. That classroom had been locked for days. I knew that. Everyone knew that. There was some kind of maintenance issue, so no one had used it all week. So why was there noise coming from inside? I stepped back into the hallway. The air felt colder now, not freezing, but enough to notice. I stood outside the door of the next classroom, completely still. The sound came again, scrape, slow, deliberate, like someone was moving something heavy. I walked closer. My heart was beating faster now. I don't know why, but something about it felt wrong. Not just unusual, wrong. I reached for the door handle and stopped because I realized something. The door was locked. I didn't even need to try it. I could see it. The lock was in place, exactly how it had been earlier that week, but the sound was still coming from inside. I leaned closer to the door, trying to hear better. The scraping stopped, suddenly, like whoever or whatever was inside knew I was there. My breath caught. I didn't move. Didn't even breathe properly. Then a whisper, soft, so quiet I almost thought I imagined it. You stayed too late. My entire body froze. That wasn't normal. That wasn't possible. No one should be inside that room. And even if someone was, how did they know I was there? I stepped back slowly, my heart pounding now. Nope, I'm leaving, I muttered under my breath. I turned and started walking back toward the stairs. Faster now, not running, but definitely not walking normally. Just trying to leave, that's all I needed to do, just get out. But then I heard it again behind me, this time louder. The sound of something moving quickly inside that locked classroom. Then a loud bang, like something hit the door from the inside. I flinched hard, and before I could stop myself, I turned around. The door handle was moving, slowly. From the inside, I stared at it. Frozen, it twisted slightly, then stopped, then twisted again like something was trying to open it, even though it was locked. My chest felt tight, my breathing got shallow. This wasn't real, this couldn't be real. And then the lights flickered, once, twice. Then stabilized, but something had changed. The hallway felt darker, like the light wasn't reaching as far as before. I backed away slowly, not taking my eyes off the door. The handle stopped moving. Everything went quiet again, too quiet. I turned and walked faster this time, down the stairs. Each step echoing louder than before. I didn't look back again. I didn't want to, I just needed to get out of the building. I reached the ground floor, the main hallway, and that's when I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The lights were turning off. One by one from the far end of the hallway, coming toward me. Click, dark, click, dark, click, dark. My heart started racing. No, 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 I backed up. The lights kept shutting off. Closer, closer, like something was following me, like something was walking down the hallway. And turning them off as it moved. I turned and ran. I didn't care anymore. I just ran toward the exit. My footsteps echoing loudly, my breathing uneven. I reached the door, grabbed the handle and pulled it open. Outside, darkness, but not normal darkness. The sky looked wrong. Too dim, too still, like time had stopped. I stepped out anyway, didn't care, I just needed to leave. But then I noticed something. The gate, the one I came through earlier, was closed, completely shut. And there was someone standing next to it. Watching me, I froze. Because I recognized the figure, not clearly, not fully, but something about them felt familiar. Like I had seen them before, somewhere inside the school. They didn't move, didn't wave, didn't speak, just stood there, watching. And then slowly they raised their hand and pointed back toward the building. My heart dropped because in that moment I realized something I wish I hadn't. I wasn't being stopped from leaving, I was being told I wasn't done yet. And behind me, from inside the school, I heard footsteps. Slow, echoing, getting closer. I didn't turn around immediately. I couldn't. My eyes were locked on the figure by the gate, still, unmoving, just pointing back at the building, like that was the only direction I was allowed to go. My chest felt tight, my hands were shaking. This isn't real, I whispered, but deep down, I already knew it was. The footsteps behind me got louder, slow, measured, not running, not rushing, just approaching. I swallowed hard. Every instinct told me one thing, don't turn around, so I didn't. I stepped backward instead. One step at a time, still facing the gate. Still watching that figure, but the closer I got, the more something felt off. The gate, it looked farther away, not by much, but enough to notice. Like the distance wasn't staying the same, like I wasn't actually getting closer. No, that's not possible. I took another step. Then another. The gate didn't move, didn't get closer, didn't change. The figure still stood there, pointing, unmoving, waiting. The footsteps behind me stopped, completely. That silence hit harder than the sound, because now whatever had been walking toward me was standing still, somewhere behind me, close, too close. I held my breath, trying to listen, trying to feel where it was. Nothing, no movement, no sound, just that same heavy silence. And then a voice, right behind me, close enough that I felt it. You didn't listen. My entire body locked up. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Because that voice was the same one from the classroom, I shut my eyes tight. No, I whispered it to myself, like saying it would make it stop, like denying it would change something, but it didn't. The voice came again, calm, almost patient. You should not have stayed. I felt it this time, a presence right behind me, not touching, not grabbing, just there. And then the figure at the gate moved, for the first time, slowly lowering its hand, and then turning away, walking into the darkness beyond the gate, leaving, just leaving. My stomach dropped. Wait, I took a step forward, but something stopped me, not physically, not like something grabbed me, but like my body refused to move further. Like there was something invisible in the way. Behind me, the voice spoke again. You are still inside. That sentence hit differently. Because suddenly I realized something. The darkness outside the gate didn't feel like outside anymore. It felt just as wrong as inside the building, like there was no real difference. Slowly, very slowly, I turned around. I didn't want to, but I had to. The hallway behind me. Wasn't the same, it couldn't have been. The lights were on again, fully on, bright, too bright, and the hallway looked longer, much longer, like it had stretched. And standing in the middle of it was someone, a woman, tall, still, facing me. My heart dropped instantly. Because I recognized her, not clearly, not personally, but enough to know she didn't belong here. She was wearing something like a teacher's outfit, simple, plain, but something about it felt wrong, out of place. Like it didn't match the time or the school. She didn't move, didn't speak. Just stood there staring at me. I took a step back. "Hello," my voice sounded weak, uncertain, wrong. She tilted her head slightly. That movement alone made my chest tighten. Too slow, too controlled, too unnatural. Then she spoke. "You came back." Her voice was soft but empty. Like there was nothing behind it. "I didn't, I was leaving. You came back." She repeated it, same tone, same calmness. I shook my head. "No, I didn't. You stayed." Silence, that word again, stayed, like that was the problem, like that was the mistake. I looked toward the exit again, the gate, but it was gone, not closed, not hidden, gone like it had never been there. My breathing got heavier. No, this isn't right. When I looked back at her, she was closer, not by much, but enough. And I hadn't seen her move. I froze. "How did you? You don't belong here." She said it calmly, like a fact. My stomach dropped. "I'm a student. You are not supposed to see this." That sentence, it hit something deep, something wrong. "See what?" I asked. My voice barely worked. She didn't answer. She just stared at me, unblinking, completely still, and that's when I noticed it. Her eyes, they weren't normal, not in a dramatic way, not glowing, not distorted, just too still, too focused, like she wasn't looking at me. She was looking through me. The lights above us flickered, once, twice, then half the hallway went dark. I stepped back quickly. "I'm leaving." I said it louder this time, more force, more desperation. She didn't react, didn't try to stop me, didn't move, so I turned and ran. My footsteps echoed loudly as I moved down the hallway. Faster, faster, not looking back, not stopping. I reached the stairwell and stopped, because something felt wrong again. The stairs were darker, much darker, and there was a smell, faint but noticeable, like something damp, old, unused. I hesitated. Just for a second, then I heard it from behind me. Footsteps, more than one this time. I turned slightly and what I saw made my blood run cold. The woman wasn't alone anymore. There were others, standing in the hallway, behind her, not moving, not speaking, just watching. And slowly, one by one, they started stepping forward. In sync, perfectly timed, like they weren't individuals, like they were part of something. My chest tightened. No, I turned back toward the stairs and ran down. Faster than before, almost tripping, barely keeping balance, the footsteps above me. Followed, not running, not chasing, just walking, but somehow they kept up. I reached the ground floor and stopped again, because now the hallway ahead of me wasn't empty. Every classroom door was open, all of them, and inside each one something stood, not clearly visible, not fully seen, but enough to know I wasn't alone anymore. And as I stood there trying to understand what I was looking at, something inside one of the classrooms moved, just slightly, and then a voice, from somewhere inside the building, not close, not far, but everywhere at once. "You are seeing it now." My heart dropped, because I realized something in that moment, something I didn't want to believe. This wasn't happening because I stayed late. This was happening because I noticed. And behind me, the footsteps stopped again, right at the top of the stairs, waiting. Like they knew I had nowhere left to go, and that's when I understood something even worse. This place wasn't empty after hours. It never was. I didn't move, not forward, not backward. I just stood there staring at the hallway. Every classroom door was open, every single one. And inside each room something stood, not fully visible, not clearly human, but enough to know they were watching me. My breathing got heavier, slower, like my body didn't want to make noise anymore, like even breathing too loud would make things worse. Behind me, the presence at the top of the stairs hadn't moved. I could feel it, that same woman and whatever else was with her, waiting. I realized something in that moment. I wasn't being chased, I was being directed. The hallway ahead of me wasn't random, it was a path. I swallowed hard. I just need to leave. but the words felt empty, pointless, because deep down I already knew that wasn't an option anymore. I took a step forward, slow, careful, nothing moved, nothing reacted. Another step, still nothing. Then from one of the classrooms a sound, soft, like something shifting its weight. I froze again, turned my head slightly, trying to see inside. The room was dark, darker than it should have been. Like the light from the hallway wasn't reaching inside, but I could still see it. A shape, standing near the back of the room, still facing me. "Hello," I whispered. No response. I looked away quickly. That felt like a mistake. Like acknowledging it made it more real, so I focused forward again, kept walking. Each step felt heavier now, like the floor was resisting, like something didn't want me moving freely. And then I noticed it. One of the doors was closed, every other classroom open, but this one closed right in the middle of the hallway. My stomach dropped, because somehow I knew that was where I needed to go, not wanted, not safe, but necessary. Behind me, a soft sound, footsteps. One step, then silence. I didn't turn around. I didn't need to. That was a warning. Keep moving. I walked toward the closed door slowly. My heart beat loud in my ears. The closer I got, the colder it felt. The air around that door was different. Heavier still. I reached out. My hand hovered near the handle, but I didn't touch it, not yet. "What is this?" I whispered. From behind me the voice answered, the same one, calm, everywhere. "You are ready." My chest tightened. "No, I'm not. You are seeing." The words echoed slightly, like they weren't meant for just me. I shook my head. "I don't want to see anything. You already have." Silence. That was true. I had. The hallway, the figures, the woman, the doors. Something had already changed. Something I couldn't undo. My hand slowly moved forward and touched the handle. Cold, unnaturally cold. I hesitated just for a second, then I turned it. The door opened slowly with a low creak. And inside, the room looked normal, completely normal. Desks arranged properly, board clean, lights on. It didn't match the rest of the building at all. I stepped inside, carefully. The moment I crossed the doorway, something shifted. The sound behind me gone, the presence gone, the hallway silent. I turned around quickly. The door was still open, the hallway still there, but it felt distant. Like I had stepped into a different place. I turned back into the room, trying to understand what I was looking at. Everything seemed fine, too fine, and then I noticed something small, a phone sitting on one of the desks near the front. It wasn't mine. I walked closer. Slowly, the screen was on, and there was an active call, no contact name, no number, just connected. My heart started racing again. "Hello," I said quietly. For a second, nothing, then breathing, not mine, on the other end of the call, slow, uneven. My grip tightened around the phone. "Who is this?" Silence, then a voice. "Are you still at school?" My blood ran cold. I recognized it. It was my friend, but that didn't make sense. He wasn't here. "Yeah, I am. Where are you?" A pause, then, "I think I'm stuck inside." My chest tightened instantly. "What do you mean stuck?" The voice on the phone sounded different, not scared, not panicked, just off. "The lights, they keep turning off." I froze because I had seen that. "And I hear something walking." My grip tightened. "Where are you right now?" A pause, longer this time. "The classroom." The words echoed slightly. My stomach dropped. "Which classroom?" Silence, then something else. A second sound, not from the phone speaker, from behind me. I turned slowly, and my heart stopped. The room wasn't empty anymore. Someone was sitting at the last desk, back turned to me, completely still, holding a phone to their ear. My hand trembled, slowly lowering the phone away from my face, because I already knew. I didn't need confirmation, but I looked anyway. The phone screen still connected, and from the speaker I heard it, breathing, then a whisper right behind me. "You found me." I turned fast, but no one was there. When I looked back, the desk was empty, the phone gone, the room silent again, like nothing had happened. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. I stumbled back toward the door, trying to breathe, trying to think, but something wasn't right. The hallway outside was darker now, much darker, and all the classroom doors were closed again, every single one, including the one I just came from. Because when I stepped back, the door behind me slammed shut, and the handle started moving from the inside. And this time, I wasn't the one trying to open it. And somewhere deep inside the building, that same voice whispered again, "You are getting closer." And I realized something I wish I hadn't. This wasn't random, this wasn't chaos, this was a process, and I had just taken another step deeper into it. The door behind me kept moving, not violently, not banging, just slowly turning, like someone inside was testing it, learning it. I stepped back instinctively, my breathing uneven now, my mind trying to catch up with everything that was happening but failing, completely failing. "This isn't real," I whispered it again, but the words felt empty now, meaningless, because whatever this was, it wasn't stopping. The handle stopped moving. Everything went quiet again, too quiet, and that's when I noticed something worse. The hallway lights were dimming, not flickering, not shutting off one by one, just slowly getting darker, like something was draining the light out of them. I turned, started walking again, faster this time, not running. But close, every classroom door was closed now, every single one, and for some reason that felt worse than when they were open, because now I couldn't see what was inside, and my mind kept imagining it. I reached the end of the hallway, turned the corner, and stopped. Because the bathroom door was open, that shouldn't have mattered. It was just a bathroom, normal, safe, familiar, but something about it felt wrong. The light inside was on, but dim, much dimmer than it should have been, and there was a smell, faint but noticeable, damp, cold. Like something had been sitting there for too long. I hesitated, just standing there, looking inside. "You're not supposed to stop." The voice, again, behind me. I flinched, turned quickly, but there was no one there. When I looked back at the bathroom, something had changed. The light inside flickered once, then stabilized. I swallowed hard. I just need to leave. But my feet didn't move toward the exit. They moved toward the bathroom, slowly, like I wasn't fully in control anymore, step by step, until I was standing right at the entrance. The room was empty. At least it looked empty. The sinks, the mirrors, the stalls, everything normal, everything still, too still. I stepped inside, carefully. The moment I crossed the doorway, the air changed. Colder, heavier. The sound of my own breathing felt louder, echoing slightly. I looked around, nothing. No movement, no shadows. "Hello," I said quietly, no response. I turned slightly, and that's when I heard it. A sound from one of the stalls, soft, barely there, like someone shifting their weight. I froze. My eyes locked onto the stall, second from the end. The door was closed, everything else open. My chest tightened. "Someone there?" I asked. No answer. I took a step closer, and that's when I saw it, feet bare, standing just under the stall door, completely still, not moving, not shifting, just there. My heart started pounding. "Hey, you okay?" Silence, no response, no movement, nothing. I swallowed hard, tried to stay calm. "Look, I'm just trying to leave. If you're..." The feet moved, just slightly, turning, facing the door, facing me. My breath caught, because that movement was too slow, too controlled. Like it wasn't natural, I stepped back, instinctively. "I'm going." No response. I turned, started walking toward the exit, and then the stall door creaked, slowly opening. I froze again, didn't turn, didn't want to, but I could hear it. The hinge, the movement, the space opening, and then... nothing, silence again. I couldn't take it anymore. I turned fast, the stall was open. Empty, no one inside, no one anywhere. My chest tightened. No, I saw. The words died in my throat, because when I looked down, the floor was wet, and there were footprints. Leading out of the stall toward me, and stopping right in front of where I stood, I backed away quickly, my breathing uneven, my mind racing. This isn't possible. Then the mirror. I glanced at it just for a second, and immediately regretted it, because my reflection wasn't alone. Someone was standing behind me, close, too close. I spun around, nothing, no one there, but when I looked back at the mirror, they were still there, standing right behind me, watching. My heart felt like it stopped. Slowly, very slowly, the reflection moved, not me, it, leaning closer. Its face still hidden in shadow, but I could feel it, looking at me, studying me, and then it whispered, "You shouldn't have come back." The voice echoed in the bathroom, not from the mirror, not from behind me, from everywhere. I stumbled back, hit the sink. Nearly lost my balance. Then the lights went out, complete darkness. I froze, no sound, no movement, just darkness. And then right next to my ear, a breath, cold, and a whisper, "You're still inside." The lights flickered back on. I was alone, the bathroom empty, the stall open. The footprints gone, everything normal again, except my reflection, because when I looked at it, it didn't move, not immediately. It was just a second, maybe less, but it was enough. Enough to know something wasn't right anymore, something had changed. And it wasn't the building, it was me. And somewhere deep inside the school, that same voice spoke again. "You are understanding faster now." My stomach dropped because I realized something in that moment. This wasn't trying to scare me, it was teaching me, and I had no idea what I was being prepared for. I didn't stay in the bathroom, not for another second. The moment the lights came back on, I moved, fast, not running, but close enough that it felt like I would if something even slightly changed again. My reflection, that 1 second where it didn't match me. It stayed in my head like something had shifted, not outside, inside me. I stepped back into the hallway and immediately stopped, because the hallway wasn't the same again. The lights were brighter now, too bright, almost blinding compared to before, and the walls, they looked different, not physically. Not like they had changed shape, but like they were cleaner, newer, like I had walked into a different version of the same place. "What is happening?" I whispered. No answer, but the silence this time felt different. It wasn't empty. It felt like something was listening, watching, waiting. I started walking again, slower now, more careful. Every step felt important, like it mattered where I went. What I did, then I heard it, a vibration, faint but familiar. My phone, I froze, slowly reached into my pocket, pulled it out. The screen was lit. Incoming call, no number. No name, just calling. My chest tightened. No, not again. It rang once, then again. I stared at it, my thumb hovering over the screen. I didn't want to answer, but something inside me told me I had to, so I did. Hello, silence, then breathing, the same breathing. Slow, uneven, my grip tightened. Who is this? A pause, then a voice. Are you still inside? My blood ran cold. It was him, my friend, the same voice from before, but this time it sounded clearer, closer. Yeah, I'm in the hallway. Where are you? A pause, longer this time. I don't know. That answer made my chest tighten. What do you mean you do know? I can't find the exit. Silence, my heart started racing. What do you see? I asked. Another pause. Doors, my stomach dropped. All of them are open. I froze because just moments ago they were all closed. And now I slowly looked around. Every classroom door was open again, exactly like before. No, this isn't right. My breathing got heavier. Where are you exactly? I asked. I think I'm near the end of the hallway. I looked ahead. The hallway stretched further than before, longer, darker at the end, and then I saw it, a figure standing at the far end, holding something to their ear. My heart dropped instantly. I see you, I whispered. Silence, then, no you don't. The voice on the phone, still calm, still wrong. I do, you're at the end of the hallway, just stay there. I'm not at the end. My breath caught. I'm inside. That didn't make sense. What do you mean inside? Inside the classroom. The words echoed slightly. I slowly turned my head toward the nearest open door, and my chest tightened because inside someone was standing there, back turned to me, holding a phone to their ear. I'm here, the voice said. My hand started shaking because the voice was still coming from the phone in my hand, but the person inside the classroom was also on the phone. Same position, same posture, same stillness. This isn't real. The figure inside the classroom moved, slowly turning its head, not fully, just slightly, like it knew I was watching. My breathing got uneven. Turn around, the voice on the phone said. I froze. What? It turn around. My heart was pounding now. No, you're not supposed to see me like this. That sentence hit something deep, something wrong. I didn't want to. Everything inside me told me not to, but my body moved. Slowly, I turned around and immediately wished I hadn't, because someone was standing right behind me, closer than before, closer than anything should be, holding a phone to their ear. My breath stopped because it was him, my friend. But something was wrong. His face, it didn't match, not distorted, not broken, just off, like the expression wasn't right, like it didn't belong to him. You answered, he said, but his lips didn't move. The voice came from the phone, still connected, still active. I stumbled back. Nearly dropped my phone. This isn't you, he tilted his head, same unnatural movement. You came back, that word again, back, like that was the problem, like that was the mistake. I was just getting my notebook. You stayed. Silence, my chest tightened. I'm leaving now. He didn't respond, he just stood there. watching, and then slowly he lowered the phone. The call ended, my screen went black, and when I looked up he was gone, completely, like he had never been there. The hallway empty again, the classroom empty, everything still, but my heart was racing faster than ever because now I understood something. This wasn't just showing me things, it was using people I knew, changing them, replacing them, or maybe showing me something I wasn't supposed to see. And then the phone vibrated again. I looked down, another call, same screen. No number, no name, but this time before I could answer, a message appeared, not typed, not sent, just there, do not answer again. My breath caught because I didn't type that, and then the screen changed, another message. Next time you won't see the difference. The phone went black, and somewhere in the building, that voice spoke again, calm, close. You are beginning to understand the second layer. My stomach dropped because I realized something in that moment. There were levels to this, and I had just gone deeper, whether I wanted to or not. I didn't answer the phone again. I couldn't. Even holding it felt wrong now, like it wasn't mine anymore, like something else was using it, watching through it, learning through it. I slowly slipped it back into my pocket. My hands were still shaking, my breathing uneven. But something inside me had changed. The fear, it wasn't the same anymore. Before I was scared of what I was seeing. Now I was scared of what was seeing me. The hallway was quiet again, too quiet, no footsteps, no voices, no movement. But that didn't mean it was empty, not anymore. I started walking again. Slower, careful. Every step felt deliberate now, like I was being watched more closely than before. The classroom doors were still open. But this time I didn't look inside. I knew better now. Because whatever was in there wasn't just standing, it was observing, learning, and I had already made that mistake once. I reached the end of the hallway and stopped because something new was there, a door that hadn't been there before. At the very end, plain, closed, no sign. No label, just there. My chest tightened. This wasn't here before. Of course it was, because this place didn't stay the same. It changed, based on me. That realization hit harder than anything else so far. This wasn't random. This wasn't just happening. It was reacting, adapting to me. To what I saw, to what I understood. You are progressing. The voice again, calm, steady, everywhere. I closed my eyes for a second, trying to steady myself. I don't want this, I said quietly. Silence. Then you already accepted it. My stomach dropped. No, I didn't. You stayed, that word again, stayed, like everything came back to that, like that was the moment everything changed. I opened my eyes again, looked at the door. What's inside? A pause, then, something you have not seen yet. That answer didn't help. My hand tightened into a fist. I don't want to see anything else. You will, calm, certain. That certainty was worse than anything else, because it meant this wasn't optional. I stepped closer to the door. Each step felt heavier than the last, like the closer I got, the harder it became to move, but I kept going because something inside me knew this was the next step, and whether I wanted to or not, I was already too far in. I reached the door. The handle was slightly warm, different from the others, not cold, not lifeless. Almost used, like someone had just touched it. Recently, I hesitated, for longer than before, because something about this felt different, not just wrong, important. Like whatever was behind this door wasn't just another experience, it was an answer or something close to one. You are close. The voice again, closer this time, not echoing, not distant, right behind me. I didn't turn around, I couldn't, because I already knew if I looked something would be there, and I wasn't ready for that. What happens if I don't open it? Silence, then you repeat. My chest tightened. Loop, that word again, even without saying it. That's what this was, a cycle, and this door was a way forward or deeper, probably deeper. I took a slow breath, then turned the handle. The door opened, slowly, and inside, darkness, not dim, not shadowy, just complete darkness, like the light didn't exist in there. I stepped inside anyway. And the moment I did, the door closed behind me. Silently, no sound, no click, just closed. I turned quickly, reached for the handle. It didn't move, locked, of course it was. My breathing picked up again. Okay, I turned back forward. And that's when the darkness shifted, not visually, but I felt it, like something moved in it, around me, slowly, circling. You are inside now, the voice, but this time it didn't feel like it was in the building. It felt like it was inside the room, with me. "What is this place?" I asked. A pause, then "This is where you stop seeing." My chest tightened. What? And start being seen? Silence. That sentence, it changed everything, because suddenly I realized something. This whole time I thought I was discovering something, uncovering something, but what if I was the one being studied? My breathing got uneven. No, that's not. Something moved, right in front of me, close, too close. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. A presence, watching. Learning, then a light flickered on just for a second, and in that brief moment I saw it. A silhouette, standing right in front of me, same height, same posture, same shape as me. The light went out again, darkness, complete, and then a whisper. Right in front of my face. "Now I understand you." My heart dropped because I realized something I wish I hadn't. This wasn't trying to scare me anymore. It was copying me, learning me, becoming me. And somewhere deep in the darkness, I heard movement, more than one. Surrounding me, closing in, and for the first time I wasn't sure if I was still alone inside my own body. I couldn't see anything, not the walls, not the floor, not even my own hands, but I could feel them, everywhere, not touching me, not grabbing me, just there. Close, too close, breathing, not loudly, not aggressively, just enough to know I wasn't alone in that darkness. My chest felt tight, my heart beat so loud it echoed in my ears. "What do you want from me?" I whispered. Silence. Then a voice, not the same one as before. "This one was mine, you already gave it." My entire body locked up. No, but it was exactly my voice, same tone, same pacing, like I was listening to a recording of myself. "I didn't give you anything, you stayed." That word again, but now. Hearing it in my own voice made it worse, because it felt true, because something deep inside me knew that was the moment everything changed. The moment I stopped being normal. The moment I became part of this place. My breathing got uneven. "I'm leaving." Silence. Then. "You don't leave." The darkness shifted, and suddenly the light came back. Blinding, I shut my eyes instinctively, then opened them slowly. I was back in the hallway, standing exactly where I had been before. The same floor, the same walls, the same doors. Everything looked normal again. Too normal. What? I looked around, no figures, no open doors, no shadows, just an empty school hallway, like nothing had happened. My chest tightened. Was that? No, it couldn't have been over, not like that. I turned quickly and saw it. The exit, the main door. Wide open, the gate outside, visible again, everything looked exactly how it should have. My heart started racing again. No way, I didn't think, I didn't question it. I ran, faster than I had the entire night. My footsteps echoed behind me, loud, sharp, real. I reached the door, pushed it open and ran outside. The cold air hit my face instantly. Real air, the sky normal, the gate open, everything normal. I didn't stop running until I reached the road. Then I stopped, bent forward, hands on my knees, trying to breathe. I got out. I looked back. The school stood there, silent, still, like nothing had ever happened, like it was just a normal building again. And for a second, I believed it. I actually believed it was over, that I had escaped, that whatever that place was behind me now. But then, my phone vibrated. Slowly, I pulled it out. My hands were still shaking. The screen was on, no call, no message, just the camera app already open. My breath caught because it wasn't showing me. It was showing the hallway, inside the school, live. The exact hallway I had just left. My chest tightened. No, the camera slowly moved, like someone was holding the phone, walking through the hallway, my hallway, and then it stopped, facing something at the far end, a figure standing there still, watching. My heart dropped because it was me. Same clothes, same posture, standing exactly how I had been earlier, holding a phone to my ear. The screen glitched slightly, and then the figure smiled slowly and raised its hand, pointing toward the camera, toward me. The screen went black. I dropped the phone, stumbled back. No, that's not me. But deep down I already knew. Something hadn't followed me out. It hadn't needed to, because it didn't stay in the building. It learned me, it became me. And then I heard it behind me, my own voice. "You made it out." I froze. Slowly, very slowly, I turned around, and standing there was me. Perfect, exact, same face, same eyes, same everything. But the expression was wrong. That same empty calm, that same unnatural stillness. It took a step closer. "You can go now." My breath caught. What? It tilted its head slightly. You don't belong there anymore. My chest tightened. Then what happens to me? A pause, then a small smile. You stay. Silence. My mind couldn't process it. What do you mean I stay? It stepped closer, and for a moment, I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't even think, because something inside me felt like it was being pulled, like something was being separated, slowly, quietly. And then everything went dark, again, but this time not around me, inside me. And the last thing I heard before everything disappeared was my own voice, calm, certain. You stayed. Some places don't trap you, they don't lock the doors, they don't stop you from leaving, they just make sure you're not the same person who walked in. And sometimes the one who walks out isn't you at all. If you are new here, subscribe to Tales of the Dark, where every story gives you a nightmare.